The time 12 minutes to 7. How much damage has Brexit done to our ports, and what might be done to make them work better? Here in Wales, Stena Line, the ferry operator, say there's been a 30% reduction in traffic. Stena Line is based in Dover, where we've seen those large queues of vehicles in recent days waiting to go through the port. Let's talk to Ian Davis, who's head of Stena Line's UK Ports division. Morning to you.
Yes, good morning, Justin. Just a quick correction there. We're not actually based in Dover. We're predominantly based on the Irish Sea and on the East Coast.
Okay, right. Fair enough. Let's start with Wales. What's happening? What has led to the reduction in traffic, and is it a permanent reduction?
Okay, yeah, we've seen quite dramatic changes over the last 12 months. So if we perhaps wind back to November 2020, pre-Brexit, we saw a huge increase in freight last-minute movements, people pre-Brexit. And then came January the 1st, literally our freight volumes dropped hugely. I'd say probably 70% on day one, which we kind of expected. And then we saw a very slow recovery. And then probably over a period, we seem to have plateaued at about a 30% reduction. So that's quite a noticeable change, and that's on our Welsh routes between Wales and the Republic of Ireland.
And that's because of the change in trading patterns, isn't it? Which presumably isn't going to alter anytime soon. I mean, that's it.
Well, first of all, we didn't want to jump to conclusions. Obviously, we're in the middle of a pandemic, so we wanted to see how the market settled, and it seems to have settled around 30%. But conversely, we've also seen, as you intimated there, routes between Northern Ireland and the rest of the UK have increased largely. And also we've seen trade between Republic of Ireland and France, the direct routes, also increased. So the market hasn't changed dramatically in size, but what we have seen is a distortion in the market as we see it.
Let's talk about Dover. I understand you're not based there, but you certainly do work there, don't you? And we've seen these huge queues of lorries recently. Again, there are pandemic issues. There are all sorts of supply chain issues right around the world, but there is also Brexit. Can we be reasonably certain now about what's causing those queues?
Again, I'll have to apologise. We don't operate in Dover, and I'm not based in Dover, so I really don't want to comment on the Dover situation. I can comment on the Irish Sea. Currently, we don't have delays and congestions. We had the next tranche of measures came in of January this year, which put another onus on administration on exports this time. We saw some problems with that. Not great problems. People are adapting fairly quickly. But of course, this process is ramping up. We're looking at July the 1st now, when there are additional checks on foodstuffs coming into the country. So there is, Brexit. Perhaps people thought the Brexit was over and done in the 1st of last year. It's not. It's an ongoing process. And the processes are getting a little bit more onerous on the importers and exporters and hauliers.
OK, well, look, Ian Davis, we'll leave it there. I'm sorry I keep trying to make you talk about something you don't want to talk about. I can't imagine why we thought you were so closely based in Dover when plainly you're not. But anyway, it's interesting to talk to you about Wales, which is where I am this morning. And plainly for people in the ports in Wales, this is all a very big deal. And that question of whether these are long-term reductions in business or not, hugely important. Ian Davis from Stena Line, thank you.
An inquiry will now commence. It is 8 minutes to 7.